What's good, family, and welcome back to the world of Prince. And today I got a very special review for you all in Guilty Gear Strive. This is probably one of my most anticipated fighting games of this year, so the fact that it's out and I'm able to play it is extremely exciting. Without any further ado, let's get into it.
It could be anything you like or nothing at all, but I do exist.
So I'm basically going to be judging this on three major points: visuals, online and netcode, and gameplay. So let's start with visuals. So this game is running on the Unreal Engine 4, which looks, honestly, in my opinion, jaw-dropping. I was already really into the visual style coming from their last project, Dragon Ball Fire, so I already knew that they had, a lot of talent at their studio, but this game, I mean, honestly, it's just really jaw-dropping. I would say, like, just looking at it, it just looks visually stunning. I mean, that's just, anybody can see that, no matter how many fighting games or games in general that you've played in the past, anybody can tell that it looks amazing. But they really have outdone themselves with this one, and it's probably, honestly, one of the best 2D fighters I've ever saw. The UI was okay. I didn't hate it, or I didn't necessarily love it. I was kind of indifferent about it. I think it's fine. It blends very well into the fast pace, of the matches, so you don't necessarily see too much of the health bar or, the counter that comes up. It's not too overpowering. I think it basically mixes with the gameplay. It's not too many matches of different colors. I think the UI, is overall fine. Just really do want to praise also the story mode, because it comes in at around 5 hours. It has 30 to 45 minute chapters. I will say that it might take some getting used to if you're not used to that type of storytelling, because there is no gameplay. There's no gameplay whatsoever. You're basically just watching an anime. I would recommend definitely checking out the story mode, because it again shows off a lot of their graphical fidelity as far as how they're making it. And I'm sure it was very difficult. At 5 hours, I'm sure it took a long time to make. So I would recommend checking it out, because it does add to the visual flair of the whole game. It just makes it, for a very compelling story mode. It is a little jarring, the fact that you don't have to fight, but it does make more sense. It doesn't put you in those situations where, we're gonna have to fight right here, let's stop the story mode just so we can fight. Where a lot of times in story mode, especially in fighting games, I found that it kind of doesn't make any sense for you to stop and fight here. So I do think it is a step forward for fighting games, and it is probably one of the best fighting game stories I've seen, original definitely, that I've seen, in a long time. The game consists of 15 playable characters, with 5 additional characters being promised as DLC. It makes for a very diverse, set of fights that I've noticed playing online, with those 15 characters, because they all are so unique. The gameplay itself is very exciting, and it's, it's really fast-paced. If you're familiar with any of the other Guilty Gear games in this franchise, you already know that it has a very complex fighting system. This one here is no different, but one standout for me in this particular game is the inclusion of they've been in the other games, but one of the standouts for me in this game is the complex intricacies of the Roman cancels. So you basically have 4 Roman cancels that you can use. They can either extend combos, they can create mix-ups, they can do block cancels for attacks from the enemies, they can increase the damage, and the list goes on from there. They have so many different applications that I have found that Roman cancels have been like the highlight for me, at least as far as gameplay. The gameplay is very exciting, but that Roman cancel just adds another layer of complexity where you can, as I said, can do so many things with it. Even though they have made the initial gameplay a little bit easier for casual players, like, you do more damage, combos are a little bit more easier to do, there is still a satisfying barrier for high concepts that I think a lot of the veterans will also, appreciate as well. So I think they have really, did a very balanced system where they can get newer or more casual players, as well as those veterans who are very combo heavy. Even though entry level is a little bit lower, due to the fact that you can do more damage and the combos are a little bit less complex, but you still can get a lot of combos. And again, I think that the Roman system is, one of the key players in making that so complex. As I'm sure most of you know that they have rollback netcode, and I'm here to tell you first that it's nothing short of amazing. A lot of the matches run so smoothly that you don't see any lag, any delay, or anything. I would say maybe 70 matches that I played online, maybe one was a little inconsistent. To play in the online lobby, you create an avatar and you put them on clothes, you know, to your liking, you choose a sword, pants, shoes, and all that, and then you go off into the lobbies and you can, you know, that's how you can play other people. I'm sure you have heard that the community is not necessarily pleased with that pixel animation choice, you know, in the lobby system, which, you know, a lot of people in the reviews and in the, you know, the feedback, they have told devs that they basically hate the online lobby. They hate the pixel system. They just don't necessarily like it. But the devs have basically doubled down on it. So they just like, we doing it. Fuck you, basically. Well, not fuck you, but it's basically saying that they think their concept is a good thing, even though a lot of the community disagrees. But, you know, I'm indifferent. You know, I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's fine for me. One thing that they have did with this online lobby system is that how you progress in the online towers. So you basically move up a tower once you have won a certain amount of games, and you are demoted when you lose a certain amount of games. So it's basically like 10 lobbies or 10 floors basically. And you know, once you make it to the 10th floor, then you have a chance to go into the Heavens Arena, which is like the top players, you know, in those towers. So I think it's a really good idea, and I found that it's probably one of my most favorite aspects, you know, about the online lobby system is that, you know, that tower progression. And I hope they continue to work on it and, you know, make improvements on it as well. Alright, now we come to the part where I'm giving my overall thoughts on it. I must say that I am quite impressed with this game, I'm gonna be honest. Although it does have its flaws, like it does have like slow startup time. You know, when you start it up, I didn't mention it, but when you start the game up, it does have like a little fair amount of time that you have to wait before the game starts. So I think that is kind of a detriment to it, which I'm sure they will work out in the future. As far as other flaws too that everybody else I'm sure can agree on, their lobby system, you know, everybody doesn't love that pixel animation style. The lobby system has been ripped to shreds, you know, by countless other creators, so I'm not going to go too much in detail on it, but I will say that it is probably one of their most disliked features in the game. This game more than makes up for those flaws with its stellar character creation design and that their beautiful graphics more than makes up for any flaws that it has. And its exciting gameplay and its ability to keep me coming back for more, the pros outweigh the cons. Also, you know, I want to praise its story mode because its in-depth story mode really helps you get a better understanding of the feel of the game. You know, again, I don't know too much lore from the game, which it does offer you some options to, you know, read about it. The story mode did help me, you know, gain a little bit of knowledge of, you know, what's going on and who the main players are. I know I keep saying this, but I do believe that this is one of the best 2D fighting games to date. With all that being said, I'm going to overall give this game a 9 out of 10. I want to thank you guys for making it to the end of this video, and as always, it's been my pleasure. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell for more on Guilty Gear. This has been Prince, and I'm out.